So, Martin, how would you explain it? I gave my definition of emotional intelligence. How can we qualify or quantify EQ in a person, specifically a youth athlete?
So I'll start by zooming out a little bit and give coaches an insight about how I tend to evaluate players. And it goes into these four columns. One column would be athleticism, your size, speed, strength, quickness. Second column would be skill. I don't tend to say, oh, here's their weak-handed skill set versus their strong-handed. It's all kind of blended into skill. Two columns there. Third column is IQ, lacrosse IQ. So that can be defined as decision making, situational awareness, understanding if this is the scenario, here's my best options. Obviously, that comes with time. And then lastly, EQ, emotional intelligence. And I like to back out because I think it's such an important thing to understand that this category, in comparison to the others, is actually the most important in my opinion. If an example of someone who's got tons of skill and athleticism, but they really, really are not paying attention and they, bother other players and they get super, super angry anytime they make a mistake and they blame other kids, that's not helpful. So the skill in and of itself becomes less valuable because the EQ is dragging them down. And so I just like to back up a little bit because in the context of all the skills that we could be working on and teaching at our practices, EQ might be the most important and hardest to teach, ironically, right? Mm-hmm. So for me, it looks like hustle plays. It looks like being a good listener. It looks like being a good teammate. It looks like having the ability to make mistakes and not get super down on themselves or blame others and get angry. And so it's this kind of fluid thing that on one given day, an athlete may be dipping low or on a given day, an athlete may have a great EQ. And so it tends to be something that's very dynamic and fluid. So we have to keep our senses attuned to how these things are shifting and ebbing and flowing on a day-to-day, week-to-week, even drill to drill basis. So I know it's not quite a simple answer, but to me, if I were to really hone in on the positive aspects, I'm looking for those hustle plays. I'm looking for those kids that can really avoid distractions and listen. And not to say that they're perfect all the time, but that they take criticism. They can get coached without taking it personally. That's a form of emotional intelligence.